Hi friends, this is your Yoganandam, biology lecturer from Edall Academy YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss one of the biology full test paper with detailed solution. Question number 1. Floral features are commonly used for identification of angiosperms because floral features are more preferred and used for classification of angiosperms as they are more conservative. They are stable and not affected by changing environmental conditions. So the answer for this question is option A. Reproductive parts are more conservative. Question number 2. Formation of plasmodium under suitable condition is observed in slime molds are saprophytic protists. The body moves along decaying twigs and leaves, engulfing organic material under suitable conditions. They form an aggregation called as plasmodium, which may grow and spread over several feet. During unfavorable conditions, the plasmodium differentiates and form fruiting bodies bearing spores at the tips. So the answer is option C, slime molds. Question number 3. The earlier classification system, bacteria, fungi, ferns, gymnosperms, and angiosperms are included under the Plantae on the basis of. In Linnaeus' time, the two kingdom system of classification with Plantae and Animalia kingdoms was developed that included all plants and animals respectively. This system did not distinguish between the eukaryotes and prokaryotes, unicellular and multicellular organisms, and photosynthetic green algae and non-photosynthetic fungi, bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, ferns, gymnosperms, and angiosperms all possess cell wall. Animals do not have cell wall. So the answer is option D, presence of cell wall. Question number 4. The most notable disease caused by prions are commonly called dash in cattle and analogous variant dash in humans. Certain infectious neurological diseases were found to be transmitted by an agent causing of abnormally folded proteins. The agent was similar in size to viruses. These agents were called prions. The most notable disease caused by prions are bovine spongiform encephalopathy, commonly called mad cow disease in cattle, and its analogous variant CR Jacob disease, that means CJD in humans. So the answer is option C. Question number 5. Syngamy can occur outside the body of the organism in fusion of male and female gamete is called syngamy. External fertilization is present in lower plants and occur in water. It occurs in algae when both male and female gametes are released in water where they come in contact undergoes syngamy. So the answer is option B, algae. Question number 6. In the following, which one is example of bryophyta that has elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal? The sporophyte in mosses is more elaborate than that in liverworts. The capsule contains spores. Spores are formed after meiosis. The mosses have an elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal. Common examples of mosses are Funaria, Polytrichum, and Sphagnum. Polytrichum is genus of mosses, commonly called haircap moss. So the answer is option B, Polytrichum. Question number 7. Find out the correct match. In Solanaceae family, calyx consists of 5 sepals and are gamosepalous. Sepals are fused. That written K denoted as calyx consists of 5 within bracket, and the corolla has 5 petals which are gamopetalous. Petals are fused, that also written C 5 within the bracket. And potato and chili belongs to the family Solanaceae. Answer is option C, potato. Question number 8. Asparagus has flowers with superior ovary, tricarpellary, syncarpus gynoecium. They have multiple carpels, not free from one another. Each ovary is trilocular and placentation is axial. So the answer is option A, 3 carpels which are united. Question number 9. An example for opposite pilotaxy is, in the alternate type of pilotaxy, that is single leaf arise from each node. Example, China rose, mustard and sunflower. In the opposite type of pilotaxy, pair of leaves arise at each node and lie opposite to each other. Example, Goa and calotropis. So the correct option is B. Question number 10. Which of these parts in the complex permanent tissue involved in transport of water is different from the rest? In xylem consists of xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Out of 4 kinds of tissues, xylem parenchyma is the only living tissue. So the answer for this question is option D, xylem parenchyma. Question number 11. Pericycle of root producers. Pericycle in root is active in the formation of root branches of lateral roots. The main function of pericycle cell is to provide support, structure and protection to the plant. So the answer is option B, lateral roots. Question number 12. Periplastidal space is found in between 2 membranes of chloroplast, space between primary and secondary wall of chloroplast. So the answer is option A, between 2 membranes of chloroplast. Question number 13. Read the following statements carefully. Here there are 4 statements are given. From that, how many statements are incorrect? See the statements one by one. Lipid component of the plasma membrane mainly consists of phospholipids and cholesterol. The cell wall of young plant cell. The primary wall is capable of growth which gradually diminishes as the cell matures, and the secondary wall formed on the inner towards membrane side of the cell. The polar molecules cannot pass through the non-polar lipid bilayer. They require a carrier protein of the membrane to facilitate their transport across the membrane. Therefore, only statement D and E are correct. So out of 4 statements, only 2 statements are correctly given. Question number 14. Select the incorrect statement with respect to centrioles. See the first option, cartwheel-like organization. That is the correct statement about centrioles. The second one, they are made up of 9 evenly spaced peripheral fibrils of tubulins. That also correct. See the option C. The central part is non-proteinaceous and called the hub. So that is wrongly given, because of centrioles made up of 9 evenly spaced peripheral fibrils which are made up of tubulin protein. Each of the peripheral fibril is a triplet. The adjacent triplets are also linked. So the incorrect one is option C. Question number 15. Zinc is required for the synthesis of. Plants obtain zinc as zinc ions. It activates various enzymes, especially carboxylases. It is also needed in the synthesis of auxin. So the answer is option A, auxin. Question number 16. For the fixation of one carbon dioxide molecule in C3 plants, the energy required in the form of ATP and NADPH2R. The reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate needs assimilatory powers such as ATP and NADPH2 in Calvin cycle. Carbon dioxide acceptor molecule is RUBP. The enzyme catalyzing this reaction is Rubisco enzyme. In this cycle, for the formation of one molecule of exosugar, that means glucose, 18 ATP molecules and 12 NADPH2 molecules are used. For the assimilation of one molecule of carbon dioxide, it needs 3 ATP and 2 NADPH2 molecule. So the answer is option C. Question number 17. Ribulose diphosphate carboxylase oxygenase is located in. A carboxylation is the fixation of carbon dioxide into a stable organic intermediate occurs in chloroplast. So the answer for this question is option B, chloroplast. Question number 18. In mitochondrial electron transport system, the electron transport chain consists of 4 different complexes such as complex 1, complex 2, complex 3 and complex 4. Complex 1 transfers the electrons from NADH to ubiquinone and complex 2 transfers electrons from succinate to ubiquinone. In mitochondrial electron transport system, ubiquinone receives reducing equivalents via FADH2 also. So the answer for this question is option B. Ubiquinone receives reducing equivalent via FADH2 also. Question number 19. Senescence in plants is inhibited by. Cytokinin delays the senescence, that means aging of leaves and other organs by controlling protein synthesis and mobilization of resources. So the answer is option C, cytokinin. Question number 20. Which plant hormone is related to hastening the maturity period and germination of seeds? Gibberellins cause seed germination by activating vegetative growth of the embryo and mobilizing stored food reserve of the endosperm by promoting the synthesis of hydrolytic enzyme involved in the solubilization of endosperm reserve. Spraying juvenile conifers with gibberellins hasten the maturity period, thus leading to early seed production. So the answer is option B, gibberellins. Question number 21. Single cell protein can be useful in all except which one? Single cell protein is commonly called as SCP or probiotics. Is protein rich microbial biomass that can be used as food and feed. Example, spirulina, mushroom, methylopilus, methylotropous. SCP has all essential amino acids and low content of fats. So the answer is option C. Preventing shift from meat to grain as diet by human beings. Question number 22. Which one of the following method is commonly used to maintain the genetic trait of given plant? The propagation through vegetative multiplication is used to maintain the genetic traits of given plant. It gives rise genetically uniform population or clone. So the answer is option B, by propagating through vegetative multiplication. Question number 23. Which of the following provides the enzyme required to dissolve the callose plugs of pollen tetrads? Tapetum is the innermost layer of the anther that supplies nourishment to developing microspores. So the answer is option B, tapetum. Question number 24. Match the following. See the column 1 and column 2. See the first one. Xenogamy. Xenogamy is matching with third one. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of different plant is called as xenogamy. What is autogamy? Autogamy is the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of same flower. So second one is matching with second one. Third one, cleistogamy. Cleistogamy is matching with fourth one. Flowers are invariably autogamous which do not open at all. Then the fourth one is geitonogamy. It is matching with first one. Transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of another flower of same plant is called as geitonogamy. So the correctly matching option is third one, C. See the next one, question number 25. Which of the following cannot be explained on the basis of Mendel's law of dominance? Law of segregation. The law is based on the fact that alleles do not show any blending and both the characters are recovered as such in the F2 generation through one of these not seen at the F1 stage. Through the parent contain two alleles during the gamete formation, the factors or alleles of pairs segregate from each other such that gamete receives only one of two factors. So the answer is option C. Alleles do not show any blending and both the characters recover as such in F2 generation. Question number 26. Which of the following conditions will be observed in persons suffering from sickle cell anemia? Sickle cell anemia, the codon instead of normal codon GAG. The messenger RNA will contain the codon GUG. This in turn will result in mistake during translation. In healthy individuals, the codon GAG on the messenger RNA matches with the anticodon CUC on the transfer of RNA carrying the amino acid glutamic acid. So the answer for this question is option D. Question number 27. The distance between genes and percentage of recombination source. Crossing over separates genes away from each other. So the distance between the genes and percentage of recombination shows a direct relationship. When genes are close together, they have high linkage and exhibit low recombination frequencies. Thus the other option is wrong as it does not show parallel or inverse relationship. So the answer is option A, a direct relationship with each other. Question number 28. An animal species has 40 chromosomes in its somatic cells. The number of chromosomes present in the somatic cells of monosomic individual of same species is. Monosomy is the type of aneuploidy in which an organism does not have one chromosome. It is denoted by chromosome number 2n-1. Thus the organism of the species with monosomy will have 39 chromosomes. So the answer is option C. Question number 29. Which of the following is correct for mRNA synthesized in leukocytes? RNA splicing is post-transcriptional process necessary to form mature mRNA. In eukaryotes, the gene contains extra sequences that do not code for any protein. These organisms transcription of DNA produces pre-mRNA. These pre-mRNA transcripts often contain regions called as introns which are intervening sequences which must be removed prior to translation by the process of splicing. So the answer is option B. Exons appear but introns do not appear in the mature RNA because introns are removed. Question number 30. Anti-parallel strands of DNA is due to a single DNA strand has two ends. One end has 5 phosphate group and the other end 3 OH group. The DNA chains are arranged in such a way that you can never have 2 5 primer or 3 primer at one end. So this arrangement is called as anti-parallel because the strands run in opposite directions to each other. Answer is option B. Hydrogen bond. Anti-parallel strands in DNA due to hydrogen bonds. Question number 31. A common biocontrol agent for the control of plant diseases is. A common biocontrol agent for control of plant diseases is trichoderma. It is a free-living fungus that exerts biocontrol over several plant pathogens for control of plant diseases. So the answer is option D, trichoderma. Question number 32. Plant succession occurring in a water body called. Hydrosphere is a plant succession which occur in an area of freshwater such as in oxbow lakes and kettle lakes. In time an area of open freshwater will naturally dry out. So the answer is option A. Plant succession occurring in a water body called hydrosphere. Question number 33. Select the incorrect statement. The amount of nutrients such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, calcium present in soil and given time referred to as standing stage. The standing crop is measured as the mass of living organisms or the number in unit area. So the answer is option D. The amount of nutrients present in the soil at any given time is referred to as standing crop. Question number 34. When a heterozygous pea plant with yellow round seeds is crossed with a homozygous pea plant with yellow round seeds, the genotype not obtained is. Heterozygous pea plant genotype for yellow round seed, capital Y, capital R, small r. Homozygous pea plant genotype for yellow round seed, capital Y, capital R, capital R. On crossing these, possible genotype are capital Y, capital R, capital Y, capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, small y, capital R, and capital Y, capital R, small r. So capital Y, small r genotype will not be obtained in this class. So the answer is option C. Question number 35. Respiratory pathway is. Respiration is the part of metabolic process where the nutrients are converted into useful energy for regular cell activities. It is in two modes depending on the presence or absence of oxygen. Aerobic respiration is one where oxygen is involved, and the anaerobic respiration is the process where oxygen is absent. Respiration is generally considered catabolic as the complex compounds broken into simple forms to produce energy. So the answer for this question is option D. Respiratory pathway is both catabolic and anabolic process. Botany section A followed by section B. See the first question from section B. Match the organisms to their respective classes. See the tabular column, column 1. Rhizopus. Rhizopus belongs to picomycetes. So first one is matching with B. See the second one. Ustilago. Ustilago belongs to basidiomycetes. So it is matching with C. Then third one. Aspergillus. Aspergillus belongs to ascomycetes. And fourth one. Colitotrichum belongs to Deuteromyces. So the correctly matching option is B. Question number 2. The common feature that is shared by Funaria, Dryopteris and Zygus is all these three plants are having archegonia. Archegonia is the female sex organ. So the answer for this question is option A, presence of archegonia. Funaria is a bryophyte in which female sex organ is archegonia. Vascular tissue is absent. Dryopteris is a pteridophyte, so in which female sex organ is archegonia. Like Zygus. Zygus belongs to gymnosperm, which female sex organ is archegonia. Question number 3. Which of the following floral characters not seen in the floral diagram? The floral diagram provides information about the number of parts of flower, their arrangement and the relation they have with one another. The position of the mother axis is represented by just a dot on the top of the floral diagram. A number of stamens and the type of placentation are shown, but the position of ovary, hypogynous, epigynous or perigynous is not shown in the floral diagram but shown in the floral formula. So the answer is option D. Question number 5. Which is the common pathway for both aerobic and anaerobic respiration? The term glycolysis has originated from the Greek word glykos for the sugar and lysis for splitting. The scheme of glycolysis was given by Embden, Meyerhoff and Parnas, and it is often referred as EMP pathway in anaerobic respiration. It is the only process of respiration. Glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm of cells and it is present in all living organisms. In this process, glucose undergoes partial oxidation to form two molecules of pyruvic acid. So the answer for this question is option A. EMP pathway is a common pathway for both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Question number 6. Bagging of emasculated flower is carried out using. If the female parent bears bisexual flowers, removal of anthers from the flower but before the anther decays using a pair of forceps is necessary. This step referred to as emasculation. Emasculated flowers have to be covered with bag of suitable size. Correct option is C. Question number 7. Endothecium and tapetum is in the anther are derived from. Endothecium and tapetum in the anther derived from primary parietal layer. Primary parietal cells divide to form two layers of secondary parietal cells. This outer layer of secondary parietal cells differentiates to form endothecium, and inner layer, which is called as secondary parietal cells, divide to form two layers, one which forms a middle layer and other forms tapetum. The answer is option B, primary parietal layer. Question number 8. With respect to ABO blood group, there are 4 major blood types because this blood group is determined by the 3 alleles of which 2 are codominant and the third is recessive. Blood group is determined by 3 alleles, I power A, I power B and I power O. So the answer for this question is option C, 3 alleles of which 2 are codominant and the third recessive. Question number 9. In the given diagram, the chemical structure of DNA. Identify the type of bonding shown A, B and C. So in the diagrammatic representation, A is N glycosidic bonding, B denoted as hydrogen bonding, C is phosphodiester bonding. So the correct option is D. Question number 10. Secondary carnivores occupy fourth tropical level of food chain. Producers first tropic level, primary consumers herbivores are second tropic level, secondary consumers or primary carnivores are third tropic level, whereas tertiary consumers or secondary carnivores are scavengers at the fourth tropic level. So the answer is option D. Number 11. What is the common between vegetative reproduction and apomixis? Both vegetative reproduction and apomixis produce progeny identical to the parent. Vegetative reproduction and apomixis seem to be the same. Both involve getting a clone of parent plant. One is limited to the production of seeds, plantlets from the reproductive structure without the need for fertilization to occur. The other is simply dividing a plant into two or more parts or generating a new plant from something other than seed. So the answer is option B. Question number 12. In lactopron, which protein is not regulated by repressor? Lactopron consists of three structural genes such as X, Y and A. Gene X synthesizes enzyme beta galactosidase which breaks lactose into glucose and galactose. Gene Y synthesizes enzyme lactose permease which increases the membrane permeability for lactose. Gene A synthesizes enzyme transacetylase which degrades the galactose. So the answer is option C, tryptophan synthetase. Question number 13. Epidermal tissue system is derived from. The protoderm is referred to as the meristem in vascular plants that gives rise to the epidermis. So the answer is option A, protoderm. Question number 14. In monoecious plants like castor and maize, geitonogamy is a type of self-pollination. Gaetonogamous pollination is sometimes distinguished from the fertilizations that can result from it. Gaetonogamy, if a plant is self-incompatible, gaetonogamy can reduce seed production. So the answer is option D. Gaetonogamy is not prevented. Botany followed by zoology. From zoology section A. See the first question. Which of the following statement is correct for the phylum whose organisms are characterized by the presence of dorsal hollow notochord and paired pharyngeal gill slits? The phylum whose organisms are characterized by the presence of dorsal hollow notochord and paired pharyngeal gill slits is phylum Chordata. So the answer for this question is option B. The members of class to which mixin belongs to show the presence of sucking and circular mouth without jaws. Question number 2. Which of the following statements will be surely correct about vertebrate that has complete four-chambered heart? So here totally there are 4 points are given. From that, first and second point, the animal shows pulmonary respiration. Then the next one is second one, the animal has double circulation. So these both the points are correct about the vertebrate. So the answer for this question is option C. Question number 3. Statement type of question. Statement 1. Biolistic method of gene transfer is an example of direct gene transfer. Statement 2. In the biolistic method, PBR322 is used. So here the statement 1 is true but the statement 2 is false. Bioholistic is the commonly used method for genetic transformation of plants and other organisms. Millions of DNA coated material particles are shot at target cells or tissues using a bioholistic device or gene gun. This type of gene transfer is called as gene bombardment method without using vectors like PBR322. So the correct option is option C. Question number 4. The brood pouch in female cockroach is formed by. The brood pouch in female cockroach is formed by 7th, 8th and 9th sterna. So the answer for this question is option A. Question number 5. Cell junctions are present in. Cell junctions are present in between epithelial tissue, smooth muscles, cardiac muscles. So the answer for this question is option D. All of these. Question number 6. Which of the following is the simplest amino acid? The simplest amino acid is glycine, considered as the simplest amino acid. It has one amino group, one carboxylic group, one hydrogen and another hydrogen in the place R group. So the answer is option C, glycine. Question number 7. The cofactor is the part of holoenzyme and it is. The conjugate enzyme consists of protein parts called as apoenzyme and the non-protein part is called as cofactor. If the cofactor is tightly attached to the apoenzyme, then it is called as prosthetic group, and if the cofactor is loosely attached organic part, then it is called as coenzyme. The answer is option C. Accessory non-protein substance attached firmly to protein part of holoenzyme. Question number 8. Match the following. See the column 1. First option A. Completely condensed chromosome, that is seen in during metaphase. See the B. Division of centriole. The division of centriole takes place during S phase. Then nuclear membrane, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum disappear during prophase. Splitting of centromere takes place during anaphase. So the correctly matching option is option A. Question number 9. Disjunction is a kind of chromosome separation in anaphase 1. Normal separation of chromosomes towards opposite poles during anaphase 1 of the cell division is called as disjunction. So the answer is option C. Question number 10. The following is a scheme showing the fate of carbohydrates during digestion in the human alimentary canal. Identify the enzymes. This one is deleted syllabus. Question number 11. All the following factors are favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin except. For the formation of oxyhemoglobin, low carbon dioxide, low hydrogen concentration, low temperature. So these are all necessary except low oxygen tension. So the answer for this question is option C. Oxygen binds with hemoglobin in reversible manner to form oxyhemoglobin. Question number 12. Which one of the following statement is correct regarding blood pressure? Hypertension in the term for blood pressure that is higher than normal 120/80. In this measurement 120 mm, that is in Hg, millimeters of mercury pressure is systolic or pumping pressure and 80 mm Hg is diastolic or resting pressure. So the answer is option D. 190/110 mm Hg may harm vital organs like brain and kidney. So that is the correct regarding blood pressure. Question number 13. During the procedure, a blood sample is drawn from patient and kept it in test tube for analysis of blood corpuscles and plasma. Which of the following tubes cannot be used for purpose? Test tube contain calcium bicarbonate are not used for this purpose. So the answer for this question is option A. The presence of calcium blood clotting factor will remove heparin, which is blood anticoagulant, and thus will promote blood clotting, while test tubes containing sodium oxalate EDTA and heparin containing test tubes will not allow the blood to clot. Question number 14. Read the following functions and identify the part of nephron responsible for it. So here there are 3 points are given. Read the points carefully. See the first one, PCT, B, DCT, C, collecting duct. A, functions of proximal convoluted tubule. PCT absorbs almost all essential nutrients. PCT absorbs about 70 to 80% of electrolytes and water, as PCT selectively secretes H plus ions, ammonia and potassium ions into filtrate and also absorb bicarbonate from it. It maintains the pH and ionic balance of the body fluids. B, Henle's loop, maintenance of high osmolarity. C, distal convoluted tubules. So the answer for this question is option B. Question number 15. There are dash pairs of ribs. Ribs is a dash bone connected dorsally to the dash and ventrally to the dash. There are 12 pairs of ribs. Rib is a flat bone connected dorsally to vertebral column, ventrally to the sternum. So the answer is option D. Question number 18. Which one of the following glands consists of 2 lobes interconnected with thin flap connective tissue? Thyroid gland consists of 2 lobes interconnected with thin flap connective tissue. So the answer for this question is option B, is connected by a strip of thyroid tissue known as isthmus. Question number 19. Which of the following statements are true or false? See the statements here. Totally there are 4 statements are given. First statement, thyrocalcitonin regulates the homeostasis of blood calcium level. That is correct. See the second one, oxytocin stimulates contraction of uterine muscles during birth. That also correct. Third one, Graves' disease is caused by malfunctioning of adrenal gland. That is false. Because of Graves' disease, also known as exothalamic goiter or Paris disease, this occur due to the oversecretion of thyroid hormone. So that is wrongly given. So the fourth one, deficiency of ADH or vasopressin hormone leads to diabetes insipidus. There is excessive production of dilute urine. It is called as diuresis. So first and second statement are correct. Third and fourth statement are false. So the correct option is B. Question number 20. See the given below diagram. There it is labeled A, B, C, D. Based on this label, choose a correct one. So here the first one is A is mammary lobe, B is mammary duct, C lacticiferous duct, D areola. So here correct one is option A. That is part A is correctly given. Question number 21. The correct statement of cleavage in human is fusion of sperm with the ovum is known as fertilization and it occurs at the ampullary ischemic junction of fallopian tube. The division of zygote is known as cleavage, begins in the isthmus of the fallopian tube, and the zygote moves towards uterus while the division continues, forming 2, 4, 8, 16 daughter cells called blastomeres. So the answer is option B. It starts while the fertilized egg is in the fallopian tube itself. Question number 22. Which of the following is not characteristics of an ideal contraceptive? It should be interfere with the sexual desire and on the sexual act of the user. That is not a characteristics of ideal contraceptives. So the answer is option D. The ideal contraceptive should in no way interfere with the sexual drive, desire and the sexual act of the user. Question number 23. The technique called gamete intrafallopian transfer is recommended for the females who cannot produce an ovum for. Question number 24. Which set of evolutionary stages of human were discovered before ape man? Evolutionary stages of human Dryopithecus and Rompithecus approximately 15 million years ago, Australopithecus 2 million years ago, Homo habilis, Homo erectus 1.5 million years ago, Neanderthal man 1 lakh to 40,000 years ago, and Homo sapiens. So the answer for this question is option A, Dryopithecus and Rompithecus. Question number 26. Which cells are mainly responsible for humoral immunity? B cells are responsible for humoral immunity. T lymphocytes help B cells to produce antibodies. B lymphocytes involved in the synthesis of proteins called as antibodies. Question number 27. Which set of drugs obtained from Papaver somniferum? From Papaver somniferum, heroin and morphine are obtained. The majority of abused drugs are opioids obtained from Papaver somniferum, example morphine, very effective sedative and painkiller in patients undergo surgery. And heroin is commonly called as smack, white, odorless and bitter crystalline compound, chemically diacetylomorphine. So the answer is option C. Question number 28. DNA can be introduced into any cell by being complexed with calcium salts. So the answer is option B. Bacterial wall is made permeable and hence competent by the treatment with calcium chloride using heat shock method. Question number 30. Intrinsic rate of natural increase is the difference between birth rate and death rates. The intrinsic rate of natural increase denoted by small r, the difference in the birth rate and death rate. The R value of Norway rat is 0.015 and the floor beetle is 0.12. The R value helps us in understanding the effects of biotic and abiotic factors on population growth. Answer is option B. Difference between birth rate and death rates. Question number 31. What is keystone species? Keystone species which adds up only a small proportion of the total biomass of a community. It has huge impact on community organization and survival. So the answer is option A. Question number 32. Select the incorrect match with respect to recent extinction of animals. The colonization of tropical Pacific islands by human is said to have led to the extinction of more than 2000 species of native birds. The IUCN Red Data List 2004 documents that the extinction of 784 species including 338 vertebrates, 359 invertebrates, 87 plants. So in the last 500 years, some examples of recent extinctions include dodo from Mauritius, gaga, Africa, thylacine, Australia, stellar sea cow, Russia, and 3 subspecies, Bali, Javan, and Caspian of tigers. So the answer is option D, dodo from India. That is the incorrect match. Question number 33. Which is the best method of germplasm conservation? Seed bank is one of the best method of germplasm conservation. Germplasm conservation is the storage of seed, gene or cells that is stored in seed banks. Question number 34. After carbon dioxide, the gas which contributes maximum to global warming, methane 20%. After carbon dioxide, the gas methane contribute around 20%. From zoology, section A followed by section B. Let us discuss 15 questions from section B. Select the incorrect statement. So here totally there are 4 statements are given. From that, first statement is correctly given. Second statement wrongly given. Fertilization is usually internal in echinodermata. In echinodermates, reproduction is sexual. Fertilization usually takes place externally. Development is indirect with free swimming larva. Question number 2. The layer of cells forming tissues that appear to be multi-layer but actually some of the cells extend from the basement membrane to the surface is. The layer of cells forming tissue that appear to be multi-layer, that is pseudostratified epithelium. Pseudostratified epithelium always consists of a single layer or irregularly shaped columnar cells touching the basement membrane. So the answer is option B. Question number 3. The enzyme activity can be completely stopped by. The enzyme activity can be completely stopped by blocking its active site. The active site of enzyme is a crevice or packet into which the substrate fits. Thus the enzymes catalyze reactions at a high rate through their active site. Question number 4. The partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli of lung is. The partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli of lung is more than that in the blood. So the answer is option B. Pressure of oxygen in the alveoli of lung is 104 mm of Hg. That is more than that of blood in the pulmonary artery, 40 mm of Hg. Question number 5. How much blood is filtered by the human kidney in 1 minute? Glomerular filtration or ultrafiltration is the process of urine formation and about 1100 to 1200 ml of blood, that is 20% of cardiac output is filtered at the level of glomerulus in both the kidneys per minute. So the answer is option C, 1100 ml. Question number 6. The hormone which regulates the growth of mammary gland and the formation of milk in them is secreted by. The gland attached to the hypothalamus by stalk, which is the hormone which regulates the growth of mammary glands and the formation of milk. The hormone which regulates the growth mammary glands and the formation of milk in them, prolactin. Prolactin is secreted by pituitary gland. So the answer for this question is option A. Question number 7. Laid egg cells are located. Laid egg cells are located outside the seminiferous tubule but in the testicular lobules. Here each testis has around 250 compartments called as testicular lobules. Each lobule contain 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules in which sperms are produced. Each seminiferous tubule is lined inside spermatogonia and Sertoli cells. In between seminiferous tubule space, which is called as interstitial space, contain Leydig cells. Question number 8. A.S.L. Miller gave the experiment proof of the theory of chemical evolution. Which chemical substances were obtained by him during experiment? So during his experiment, he obtained amino acids. The conditions on Earth were high temperature, volcanic storms, reducing atmosphere containing methane, ammonia, etc. In 1953, S.L. Miller, an American scientist, created similar conditions on the laboratory and obtained amino acids at around 800 degrees Celsius. Question number 9. Identify the organism which causes dry scaly lesions on the skin, nails and scalp humans. A fungi belonging to the genus Microsporum causes scaly lesions on the skin, nails and scalp in humans. So the correct option is B. Question number 11. In Swiss cheese, the large holes are formed due to the production of large amount of carbon dioxide by which bacterium? Swiss cheese, large holes are formed due to the production of large amount of carbon dioxide by Propionibacterium shermani. So the answer is option B. Question number 13. The virus with single-stranded DNA is discovered. Its DNA is amplified by running 10 cycles of PCR. How many double-stranded DNA strands will be formed at the end? Polymerase chain reaction is a process to amplify nucleic acid sequences. In this process, DNA is replicated multiple times by adding synthesized primer which attach to the denatured DNA strand and are extended using the thermostable polymerase enzyme Taq polymerase obtained from thermophilic bacterium Thermus aquaticus. So the answer is B, 512. Thank you very much for listening our videos. Those watching our videos, you are requested to like, subscribe and share to your friends. All the best.